What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. Hope everybody's having a good day today. I am down south 77. This is an adult collector channel where we talk G.I. Joe, mostly classified, and every now and then we'll take a look at something else that I'm interested in and pick up. Like to do a video on it, show you guys other things that I'm into. But today is G.I. Joe Day. More specifically, we're going to be taking a look at number 135, Road Pig and Rawkus. Dreadnok, Road Pig and Rawkus. Yep, had to make sure it said that. I thought it probably did. Got this guy at Target today. He's been showing up at Targets and he's now in their system. I woke up this morning and saw that people were finding him, like doing a search. He wasn't there yesterday, at least not in my area, because I've been looking. And he showed up. A couple Targets near me showed him in stock. I went to the closest one, and he wasn't on the shelf, but I asked an employee, showed him the barcode, and he looked at it and he said, he doesn't have a home. So that told me they had him. And I said, yeah, he's replacing something that it got clearanced out, being Naugahyde. He said, well, hang on a minute. I said, okay. And he went back to the back, grabbed me one. It was showing they had 4 in stock. Now they got 3. So I did pick him up today, but something else I wanted to tell you guys, he's due to ship from Pulse and Amazon this week. I had him ordered both places, and it was, the old game of whichever one ships first is who's getting my money. Turns out it was Target. But what I wanted to tell you guys is at Target this week, starting with the 6th today, is Circle Week at Target. So they're running the sale. Spend $40 and get $10 off of toys, and you spend $75 and you get $20 off of toys. Road Pig's not the only thing I bought. I got my $20. So hopefully I'll be having another video in the next couple days. Try to get that out and show you the other thing that I picked up. But go check your Targets if he's something that you thought. I'll just find it in the wild if I can. Try Target, because he is showing up there now. Otherwise, he'll probably be at Pulse and Amazon, or due to ship him. I think Pulse is this week on the 8th, and Amazon for me said like the 16th, but we know that's a lie. So let's go ahead and get him out, check him out. Excited for him, but more than him, you know what I'm excited for. Rawkus. Go ahead and take a look at the box and stuff up close. You know how I do. And then we'll get him out, because I got a ring light right here that reflects. So we'll do this, and then I'll take his accessories out. Nice artwork. I like the pig mask. It's a great portrait of the dog, but we'll get into talking about the dog. And got the back here, teddy bear. So he's on the outside of the Dreadnok gas station that we've seen so much of. Yada yada. You can pause that if you want to absolutely waste your time scanning it. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get him out. Be right back. All right. Well, that was slightly better than how most of those go in these plastic trays. Oh, yeah, I said something you're not supposed to say, especially in October. I'll be right back. Kind of sounded like Storm Shadow, didn't it? I want to show you one thing on the tray. Rawkus, his back, or his left side goes through those holes right there on his legs. So just so you know, don't get in a huge hurry trying to take Rawkus out and wind up messing up his legs somehow. And then you got to take him to a vet, and those bills, man, they're like, it's like going to a human doctor with them vet bills. So take care when you get Rawkus out. Angle that a little better so you're not catching the glare. That's his highlight right there. That's his Joe comic highlight, I would say. I think he was on the cover of one other issue. I don't remember, but I knew he was on the cover of that one. I did not grab Rock and Roll and Clutch out of the display because Clutch is in the vamp, and there's a whole bunch of figures around it, and I got to take everything off of rock and roll, and so I just didn't do it. Call me lazy. But I did, however, get Naugahyde and Zorana and Junkyard so we can do a comparison with Rawkus. I want to talk about some of the stuff he comes with first before we look at the main attraction. It does come with this shield, new update on his shield. This is Shockwave Shield. You got the good luck with the pig on it. I like it. I mean, the original came with the little small shield, so I mean, it looks okay. Who's going to use the shield with this dude, though? I mean, I'm not. But I do like the attention to detail with the tempo, and you got your not light lights here, and you got this caution stripe stuff, kind of like what we've seen on Alley Viper, Crimson Alley Viper. So kind of that whole thing. Yes, I just adjusted the camera. Let's take a look at his classic weapon. They did give him his cinder block. Looks good. Handle. Got some leather wrap there on it. Looks like a little silver. For the I would love to know how they put a cinder block on a handle. I pick a cinder block up and move it, and it shatters when I drop it. I'd like to know how he drilled into it. So our block looks good. I mean, it's your standard cinder block. I do like how it's got little chips and stuff in it, as a cinder block does. Doesn't quite have the texture, but I mean, come on, what do you you can't expect too much, but it does look nice. If it was solid and didn't have these little chips and stuff in it, I'd be like, they could have done more with it, but hey, they did more with it. They did a lot more with this set, a lot more than we were expecting, and you can tell when you look at some of these figures who gets the love. That is for sure. Now, he does come with a muzzle. I think this is a reuse of the mutton muzzle, maybe, but they did. No, actually, I take that back. I don't think it is. I don't have it on mutt, so, but he does have the tusks there, 4 teeth tusks, brown strap, dual strap. This thing's kind of complicated, actually. And then you get black and red in the middle for, I guess, what would be maybe the open mouth on it. He does come with a hook. It's not the same one that Crocmaster comes with. This one is all of a weathered metal look. Does have some little tings and chips in it, and it does have a serrated end on it. Does have the same leather looking wrap, and it's got spikes on the handle. This is a pretty formidable hook. I like the one that Crocmaster come with because that one reminds me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So this one is probably a whole lot more dangerous as a weapon than that one is. And Lenny, when he talked about this figure, talked about having to give him his original cinderblock hammer, but Lenny addressed something that we always said growing up playing with this guy, right? Like, this is a one-time weapon, it's going to shatter. So they tooled this for him. I absolutely freaking love this. You guys, if you watch my channel, I only really have the one, my videos on my channel, you will know that I really like medieval type weaponry that's hammers and maces and things. This is just absolutely gorgeous weapon. One of my favorite weapons in the line is the hammer that the Hiss gunner comes with. This one, I believe, tops it, I think. So you got the spike at the bottom on the hilt at the very bottom. You got spikes around the spike. Then you got a red wrap. Looks like, I mean, there's paint apps missing on it, but it's supposed to be wear. It's not like they didn't miss that. That's intentional. And I like that. When they miss paint apps and it's intentional, I like it. And then this goes up into yet another darker, more metallic shade of that color into more spikes. And of course, you have one end of the hammer shaped like a pig, a boar, with it's kind of like a kabuki mask boar. You got spikes on top. Then the other side is your actual hammer, and you could probably tenderize a steak with this thing. Not bent at all, coming out right out of the package. This is a harder plastic than what we've been seeing. I got no complaints about this thing right here. I freaking love this. Don't think he comes with a sidearm. This is his alternate head. This pig mask. This thing is just out of the blue crazy. It looks like something. You watched House of a Thousand Corpses. This is something that Dr. Satan would have come up with. We've seen it's kind of a play on the Pigman tale. You've seen that in probably American Horror Story and other Saw. I mean, but with this crazy World War II Axis styled helmet, and then it's got a metal jaw plate, metal here, which actually is a different color metal, different color silver, and red eyes that where it looks like maybe the eye lens out of a gas mask or something. I mean, just look at it. It's awesome. Is it over the top and completely unnecessary for this character? Of course it is, but why not throw it in? This kind of stuff right here. I don't mind them spending a little money on and making this a little bit more expensive set because it's done. You can tell they wanted this. This is something that they wanted. The sculpt is where there. Got the mane back here for it. Like this, like it looks like somebody actually did this to a real boar. It's crazy. It's like cyber boar head. That's enough about that. It's freaking awesome. So let's go ahead and take a look at Mr. Rawkus here. He comes with his angry boy face on. So let's take a look at his good boy face here. This is not really all that good of a good boy face, but this is resting pit face. You got a pit bull, this is resting pit face. So can't fault that too much. Looks good at the ears, paint up in the ears. See if I'm gonna show up. So I mean, it looks like there's a little bit of paint in there that might be. I don't think it's missing. I think it's right, and it gives the perfect effect. The inside of a dog's ears has different folds. Eyes on him look nice. No derpy puppy. He's even got the pigment, a little darker pigment on the inside of his nose there. I will go ahead while we're looking at this head talk about the fact that I absolutely hate they gave him cropped ears. As my only real complaint with this set is kind of the same way that I don't like Naugahyde as a poacher. I'm still not real happy that they gave us a pit bull and they gave it to us with a bad guy. He's got cropped ears. He's got a scar over his right eye. It looks great. Whiskers, those holes where his whiskers would be. It'd be awesome if they could do like rooted whiskers, but I think they just screwed it up. Got the flappy jowls there. I mean, this is how my dog looks when he looks like this. This is how my pretzel dog looks. So good looking head sculpt. I'm just not thrilled that we get a pit bull and he comes with the bad guy. But hey, perhaps he's a really good dog that comes with the bad guy, and perhaps this is the only thing that Road Pig really cares about besides Zorana is his dog. I mean, he's definitely well taken care of, that's for sure. Right out of the box with Rawkus, and I also like the fact that they spell his name Rawkus, because if you have a dog and you mess with them, and everybody has a dog, you always do silly stuff, say silly stuff. And I like the fact they spelled it Rawkus because pit bulls, as do many dogs, will kind of do the raw, raw. It's not a bark, it's not a growl, it's just a raw. It's a noise. I like the fact that they actually spelled it that way because I actually, when I mess with my dog, I call my dog Rolfus sometimes, which is absolutely nothing near what my dog's name is. It's not even close. But so I do like that. It's raucous. So it's ruckus, but when they call him raucous. I do like it. So straight out of the box, he moves much better than Junkyard. My Junkyard has some loose joints. Not super loose, but I kind of keep Junkyard like that where his weight is kind of distributed because he's got one back leg and one front leg that are they're kind of loose, and you can't get him in certain poses because it falls over. but I played with Junkyard a lot. So it does appear to be the same body on Junkyard. I didn't take Junkyard's tack vest off to double check this. I've heard other people that have said that it is. It's a pain to get this off, and I don't want to fool with trying to take it off and then put it right back on. But you can see there on the legs, the sculpt. They do a good job of making this guy um, into a pit bull, which also unfortunately means that he has a dot tail too. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Here's his mean boy face that he comes with. Looks good. Looking at it super, super close like that, I wish they'd have done a little more with the mouth and made it blacked out or made it a different shade of red instead of the same color of the rest of his head sculpt. But I mean, whatever. It looks good. Looks great from here. It's not till you do that you really notice, so it's not anything to take away from it. And I was trying to look at the ears to see if the ears were the same way. No, I think the ears on this are sculpted a little bit different. They don't look like the same ears to me. What do you guys think? I don't think they're the same ears. They're really close, but I don't think they're the same ears. But that's Rawkus. No issues with him. He seems to move really well. And he does have a couple different paint apps here. This could be where maybe you see that? Maybe his hackles are up in the back. He's got his hair bristled up here because he is upset. And then around his butt, the same also. So just FYI there. I know you hadn't seen enough dog butts today. So we'll set them over there side by side. Same height, roughly. I think Junkyard's head sculpt is far better as far as the angry dog head. Not that Rawkus is bad. I just think Junkyard's is better. We kind of skipped ahead and looked at the star of the show first, so I guess we'll look at Road Pig now. And if I call Road Pig Road Block, take a shot. I've been doing it all day. No, if I say Roadblock in this review, I mean Road Pig. So he is a big dude. He's a big, big figure. He's got the upper body, the upper torso rotating cut. Come around pretty far. I just hope that doesn't get loose. It's not bad right out of the gate. It's a little looser than I like, but it's not enough to really, knock it back a notch. It's not to the point where it's going to knock him over or anything. Go ahead and knock this part out first. A lot of people did not like his face sculpt. A lot of people said that saying he looks like a Wreck-It Ralph, saying he looks like dude from Mad Max a little bit, which is actually what I think they were probably going for. An earring there that looks like that might be, I don't know what that is. It's not a razor blade, perhaps a little knife or something jingly and jangly. I don't know. I don't think this looks bad. It looks better in person than it did in pictures. I will tell you that. Somebody else I saw say that, I believe that was Punk with Toys, mentioned he thought that as well. Does look much better in person. Here's the Screaming head sculpt. I don't like this one nearly as much, but it looks good. I mean, as far as paint wise, you get the 5 o'clock shadow. And he does have his bottom teeth, his bottom canine-ish teeth, whatever those are called. I'm not a dentist. Those do look like they're on the floor, and they have been replaced with metal. You guys know I've always got to drop something, and it's always got to roll all the way to the other side of this table, and I'm going to hit the camera. So anyway, you can see down there, it does have, looks like he's had his teeth replaced with metal or gold or something. I don't think this looks bad. I do like this face better. That's just me. What do you guys think? He's got a cut across the bridge of his nose because this guy is constantly fighting. So the head sculpts, let's get that part done now. See how he moves. Because this guy's got, I mean, he has got some giant legs and just everything. This is a really big buck. Bottom part of the knee is, there we go. Moves pretty good. His shoulder pad and his pauldrons probably not going to give you a whole lot of range here. I mean, it's flexible, but might get a little more than that, but I'm not going to attempt it right now. Butterflies about as you would expect there. All right, so let's check him out. Articulation on him seems good. This right here, though, man, this is what's going to get him, and this is what's going to get me with him, is that right there. Look at that. I don't know what it is with these ankle joints on these figures, but that is way too loose for a figure this size. This one's pretty good, but his left foot, man, it is not. And let's see. I don't like it. Anyway, let's go ahead and check him out. So he's got a knee pad here, again, with the boar, with the pig sculpt on it, metal. Got a metal one over here, and I mean, it looks, it's like metal. I'm not sure if he understands the point of knee pads or not, but you guys probably do. He's got this metal around his boots, and when you say steel toe, he has stamped metal toes on top. So he's got all this crazy armor. He does look like something straight out of Mad Max. Nice detail, sculpt work on the shoulder pads. Got these stars over here. This little bit of texture to this brown here. Some underneath, you can actually see the padding part here that runs around underneath this gray. Silver buckle, one on each side. And back here, little rivets and stuff all the way around. Looks nice. This very well sculpted. Then over here, this pauldron got a skull with spikes on it. Looks like it's bolted to it. This looks really good. There's some fabulous detail work on this figure. Let's check out his tattoos. Got his chain over here. It goes all the way around. And here, pork bomb. And you see it's got a pig head with crossbones and wings, and the pig head is a actual bomb. You see the flames. Really, really cool. I love the tattoo stuff that they're doing with these guys. I know a lot of people don't, but we're bringing these up into modern times. These guys are going to have tattoos. Certified grade A ham. I love it. Got his 2 stars there. Got his anarchy tattoo that people were worried that he wasn't going to get, especially because they gave it to Naugahyde over there. Here's one that really set a lot of people off. Might as well talk about his codpiece while we got him right here. Again, awesome sculpt on it. Got this 80s, remember these stud belts? Who had a stud belt or a stud bracelet? I did. Again, the buckle there, another pig on it. And then he's got these silver circles. I'm not even sure. How does he pee? That's what I want to know. I guess maybe the buckle unhooks and this folds. I don't know. I'm putting way too much thought into this. He's got a little quiver over here for his crossbow bolts. Crossbow is mounted on here. This is not removable. This is part of this wrist gauntlet here. I'm just making sure I didn't miss something somewhere else. You know what? And that's fine with me, because if this thing was removable, it would be an absolute piece of crap and we would all complain about it. So I'm not going to, because it is part of this gauntlet. I like it as part of the gauntlet. I know some people really wanted the crossbow with him, it wouldn't be this size. Look how big this dude is. If they put a crossbow with him, it would not look right. The handle for crossbow this size would be twice as long as the crossbow for him to hold it. So I'm not sad that they did this. I don't care about that. So this is what I was going to get into, was his tattoo right here. Now, you can't even really read it. It's a Dreadnoks tattoo. And I've seen other people that have talked about this, and a couple other reviews I've watched. Theirs was the same way. They hate this tattoo. I don't hate it. I don't mind it, honestly. I don't think that it looks good, but it looks good on him. And if anybody is going to pay a shady tattoo artist, it's going to be a Dreadnought. Or maybe he got this tattoo when he was a whole lot thinner. That's a thing, folks. We're going to have a whole lot of stretched out Chinese symbols and dolphins if we don't have them already, our age group. I don't mind the tattoo. I do wish it was a little more legible, not just because I think it looks bad, because his other ones are. Like, you look how good that one looks. You can read it. I mean, you can read the lettering on that. You can read the lettering on that when you get in close enough. We've already looked at it. This looks like a chain, but this it doesn't fit. Like, it just doesn't fit in with it. So I don't hate it like a lot of people do. I just wish it was a little more legible. That's my main gripe with it, is I wish it was more legible. Of course, he's got on chaps, go down, tuck in the top of his boots. Overall, man, I think he's a good looking figure. I think this is a really, really nice looking figure. But Lenny also had a lot of passion for this figure, and as I mentioned earlier, you can definitely tell which figures get the preferred treatment and which ones don't. Looking at you, Steel Corps Commander. And that's how we got that guy, just so we could get the fancy Twilight Guard. So I'm going to go ahead and that come off really nicely. That one is not its own. I like to hear that. I like to hear that pop when I put these on. He is a big old no neck having, you know, just big dumb muscle. Is the other thing that people go ahead. Okay, well, it was on there. Let's check out the piggy mask and see how that looks. That looks pretty wicked. I don't know that I'm gonna use it, but man, it looks good on him, doesn't it? We put that on, so we need to go ahead and check this out. Yeah, his fingers went apart pretty decently. So there's the psycho look that you're gonna want for this guy right there. I don't know if you will be able to get him into a two-handed pose with this thing. I don't think there's any way. He's just too big, and his chest piece does hit it. You might be able to, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, and it's not going to look great if you can get him to do it. I don't think. I'm just trying to get him. I don't like the silence when I do this, but I'm just trying to see. So you can get him into a little bit of a two-handed pose, like he's getting ready to swing it across and let go with his right hand and let his left hand carry it, just sweeping across. So you can get him into a bit of a two-hand pose with it. This ankle is going to kill it for me, I can tell y'all now. And he holds it. He holds it well. You can get him down here at the wrap where he's swinging it. Picture this guy coming at you with this big hammer. Man, he actually holds that thing so well it's not even wanting to come out. So let's check out his classic weapon, cinder block. weapon. I wish he had a pointing finger. This is like the last figure in the world that needs a pointing finger, but him holding one of these hammers pointing at you would be absolutely fantastic. So there we go. Got him with this cinder block hammer there. And check out. Pretty sure this probably should go on. There you go. Not upside down. That's how it should go on. Hey, there goes the mask. There we go. So we'll see if we can. Not a huge fan of this other ring here. Likes to get sucked up there in the neck. Not a big, huge fan of that. His neck is just so big. I know I called him no neck, but you guys know what I mean. There we go. I think this actually should go up a little more because he's got the spot for his ear here. It's hung on his earring. So this thing's kind of clearly a pain in the ass. There we go. So if you're going to use this, go ahead and get it over his ears before you even attempt it. Okay, there we go. Got it on there. Not a huge fan of that look. Looks pretty good on him. He looks pretty wicked with it, but I just not a big fan of it. Just not for me. It's not that it's a bad look or anything. It's just not my favorite for how I want to display this guy. And let's see. And I like hearing that pop. Okay, get his hook in his hand. He can't even get his trigger finger in there. So like that, put his trigger finger around it because it is not going in there. Looks pretty good with it. Probably not going to use that, even though I do like the hook. So there's all the different looks for this guy. Let's go ahead and put a fist on there. This is removable if you want to take it off. I'm going to take it off and see what I think he looks like with the fist. Ooh, I kind of like him better without it. What do you guys think? Would have been cool if they snuck another tattoo in underneath it. That's the only thing that kind of makes it not look right, is he'd probably have another tattoo under here. I kind of like the look with it off though. So he's got these big old ham fists. You see what I did there? Because you know this is a dude that ham fists everything. You know it is. So there he is. He's getting ready to light somebody up. This uppercut. Man. I think he probably can compensate with it, but look, if this dude goes off the shelf because of a weak ankle or whatever, if this guy goes, he's probably going to dent your floor when he goes. So let's put him up beside his love interest Zorana so you can see how much bigger he is. He's pretty much a whole head taller than her. There's probably twice as much plastic in Road Pig alone as there is in Zorana and everything that she comes with. And I grabbed Naugahyde because he is also a larger figure. Road Pig's not a whole lot taller, but he is taller and he is definitely wider and definitely is not hitting the gym like Naugahyde does. Naugahyde needs to get him to go to one of those bring a friend days at Planet Fitness or wherever and get him on an ab rower. Let's talk about that for a minute while we're discussing that. What do you guys think about the dad bod that they're saying this is for Road Pig? You guys like it? I like it. I do like it, and I'll tell you why. I don't need every figure that comes out, every male figure that doesn't have a shirt or tack vest or something, exposed chest or whatever. I don't need all of them to look like 1980 Mr. Olympus, whatever that was, that Schwarzenegger won. I don't need them all to look like that. Have you not ever seen a big, huge dude that is not ripped? If you haven't, you're not looking very hard because that's the way most of them are. He is just a big goon. He's a big guy. He don't need to go to the gym. He don't need to have abs. He doesn't need any of that stuff to pick you up and break you in two. I like a more realistic looking figure with some of them. You know, when I was, how old was I when Road Pig came out? 1988. I was 11 years old when the original Road Pig came out. And I was coming out of the era where I thought all fantasy characters or superheroes or whatever needed to look like they were chiseled out of marble. I was at the age where I realized not everybody looks like that. You hit an age and you realize that there are much different body types out there, and any of them can be a hero or a bad guy. I don't mind this a bit. I'm curious to see what else they can possibly reuse this buck for. I think Nemesis Immortal is a different buck. Um, so I'm curious to see what other huge figures might be based on this. Quinn the Eskimo, anybody? Um, Raymar? Who knows? Who knows what they might use this for? I don't see them just using this for him. But I don't mind it a bit. I don't mind the dad bod, the big dude. He's just a big sloppy goon. He's hard muscle, and I do not mind a bit that they went this route with this figure because I think if his buck looked like his buck, it would be way over the top. I don't think this dude is eating right, and I don't think he's hitting that ab rower. I think this dude's throwing back fried chicken and grape soda and little Debbie's, and he is still out there wrecking it like Ralph. What do you guys think about Road Pig and Rawkus? I think it is a really good set. Road Pig is not one of my favorite Dreadnoks. If we never got Road Pig, I probably would have been fine with it. I was actually on the fence about ordering it, but I'm like, nope, I want all the Dreadnoks, so I'm going to order him, and I am glad I did. I think he's a really good figure. We didn't show the shield. See if I can get that in his hand real quick here before I wrap up. Sorry, Rawkus. So there we go. So he can get the shield somewhat. His arm is very, very big. So getting that clip around his forearm there at the bottom of his wrist, it'll go. It will go, but it's going to kind of pop loose. I don't really plan on using the shield with him anyway, but he doesn't look bad with it. It definitely fits the look. There's an idea. This is mostly what your shield with him is going to do. And he holds it well, but his wrist is just way too big for that loop, whatever you want to call that. And that is definitely not squishy plastic, so be careful with that. Oh man, that's a lot. What do you guys think? Did you pick him up? Do you like him? Does he look better now that you've gotten to see him up close? I think he looks way better in person. My only fault really with this figure is he's got a weak ankle, but it looks like you'll be able to compensate with it somewhere else. At least I hope you can. We'll find out. Road Pig and Rawkus, you guys, from me, from 3-star draw. This dude is going to get a 4.5 all day. He comes with so much. Even though I don't like that they gave him a pit bull with cropped ears, this dude didn't need a pet. I think probably They went ahead and did that because they wanted to add all of this stuff with him, give him the extra hammer, give him the extra head. Probably wasn't quite enough to bring him up to a $45 price point. So they went ahead and just decided that they would give him a pup. And I'm good with that. I don't think we looked at his good boy head. Let's take his collar off. I don't think we looked at his good boy head on him, did we? I don't think I did that. I'm glad I thought of that right at the end. Maybe. Maybe we'll get to look at it. Ooh, that is lined up. Well, I'm going to heat that up just so we can see it. All right, not a fan of having to do that, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get the review. There's the good boy head on him. Like it much better on him. He's a good boy. Rawkus is a good boy. No. There, I just want him scratching the dog's head. Come on. Work with me. Just a little. A little. Close enough. Road Pig and Rawkus, I think it's a 5.5. It's a good set. If you're doing Dreadnoks, you definitely need him. If you just want a big beefy figure fighting your Joes, pick him up because he is a big beefy figure. I'll see you guys on a 3-star draw the next time. I appreciate hit that like, that thumbs up, subscribe, all that good jazz, and we will see you down the road.